Hey, scrapbook friends, it's Nicole, and I'm here with episode 11 of Theme Park Thursday. And I have to admit to you that I don't think this layout is done. I think it needs something, but I've been working on this for almost 2 hours, which is way too long to be working on a layout with one photo and a Disneyland park map. And I'm stuck. So I'm throwing this out there to all of you who watch my channel, who kind of know my style, who are familiar with Creative Memories products. What does it need? I think it needs something right here. I think it maybe needs something right here. We know we could do the clusters of 3. I don't know what it needs. So I'm going to crop out as much as I can of the 1 hour and 50 minutes that it took me to record this video so that you don't have to watch for an hour and 50 minutes. But I really am going to appreciate your comments to help me figure out what it needs. It needs something. So please help me, YouTube land. You're my only hope. So stay tuned to see how I got this far, and hopefully that will inspire you to be able to coach me on what I need for the rest of it. Okay, so I have this one picture of me holding the map with the Main Street Electrical Parade. And so I thought it would be fun to include the park map. The first time I went to Disney World, one of the things that we did was save the park maps. And so now I always grab several. Looks like I had 3 Disneyland and 4 California Adventure. I have 4 Disneyland, but this is the one that got folded up and stuck in my pocket. I also have our military tickets, which, you know, sometimes I love to put park tickets in there, but this is a huge ticket. You know, I don't want to put these in. And I don't know if I took a picture of, a lot of times I'll take a picture of them and send them to my family that we got this, you know, we got these tickets, but I don't think I did this time. But I don't want to put that in. I don't want to put the t-shirt for the long sleeve tee. I don't know what those things were, but that's, yeah, I don't want to know how much I spend. But I am going to say, I'm going to save this. I'm going to do the same thing when we get to California Adventure, I think, and do a page that utilizes the map. And what I'd really love to do, and this will be a, well, I don't know how short a page this will, small pages will be. This probably takes up a 12 by 12 page, and then I could put these parts somewhere. But it's just fun to have a park map, because things change all the time at Disney, and especially for us with Disneyland, we don't get there very often. When I first started doing this Theme Park Thursday series, the series 1, I wanted to talk about incorporating memorabilia and all that stuff in your album, and then I didn't have any memorabilia. But this time I have a very little bit of memorabilia. And so maybe, I mean, I want the front too. Maybe what I want to do is like a pocket to put the actual map in, and then the picture or the map. This might need to be on the other page. Maybe I cut this apart. Kind of cool to have the COVID-19 warning. Definitely like the front. Talk about mobile order, lightning lane. They don't even do Genie or Genie Plus. It's called something else now. If I'm going to do a pocket, it might be a good idea for me to create my layout on the actual album page rather than on paper. Because I need to put stuff in the back to make the pocket. And I do have a whole video about how to make like memorabilia pockets. And so some of that's going to be already in there. I think what I'd like to do is have some kind of like a little cutout. So you see Elliot's face, something like this. I don't know how far I want it to come out. You know, I want most of this to be a pocket so it stays in, but I could do something maybe like that. All right, so let me start with some white pages. And that's going to help me kind of with the sizing. And because I use the regular jeeped pages, you know, this reinforced edge is called jeeping, because that's what I use. The page protectors are sealed at the top and bottom, so I can't do a pocket that you lift up from the top, because then I'd have to cut my page protector. I mean, you can do that, but I like to just do it from the side. So I think I want to do that kind of from the side. And maybe I put this over here. It'll just almost barely fit. So like even now, you know, Michelle and I just went to Disneyland, and the Critter Country's gone. It's called, gosh, Bayou Country now, because this is not Splash Mountain anymore. It's Chiana's Bayou Adventure. I don't even know where it is. I guess it's right there. So I think what I want to do is cut this map right here along this, where this little flag is. Either way, I'm going to kind of have to cut over. And I'm going to have to trim a little bit off this edge too. I don't want to cut too much because I don't want to cut that train station off. That's kind of the edge. And here, oh yeah, I can still do it right there. That's the edge of the Jeeping. And that still keeps this whole piece of Critter Country right there on there. Do I want to keep the whole map? Maybe I want to put the map on this side. And then I can do this. Like, I don't necessarily need all of these. And I can make them, you know, I could put some over here even. I don't need this section. I don't need that section. I maybe don't need any of this. So I don't know if they still have a COVID warning. I'll have to check my maps from 2025. I think I'm not loving it like this. I think I want to be more like this. Some kind of some of this picture here. It's almost like I'm doing a single, sorry, I'm crooked, a single photo layout with the little map, you know, so we'll have something that tucks the map behind, and then we'll put the single photo, and this will cut out. Maybe what I need to do is just something like this to be the pocket, and then map this and some kind of a border across the bottom. Having just one picture is actually really hard, but it's such a great picture. Look how happy I am. So happy to be at Disneyland and to have the Main Street Electrical Parade be back. Trying to think if there's, I mean, all the, you know, I try to keep all my memorabilia together, and everything I had was in here. I took the bags from Downtown Disney out. So a double page spread that has basically one picture, that's kind of a lot. But the next set of pictures I have are just Main Street. Okay, so basically right here I need something, maybe I need something like the same color family. like I continue with a piece of like maybe this blue. I have the new blues, the songbird blue and the cornflower. Remember a couple weeks ago when I was doing the one with the weaving, and I said, oh, I wish we had cornflower blue, and then like literally the next week Creative Memories came out with cornflower blue. So what else do you want me to wish out loud for that I can speak into existence? Let me grab some blues and see if I kind of am liking this kind of dusty blue right here. And then I want something different here. Maybe the pink or the green. But I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to do like a color block that ties in with this. And then I'll just have this little section that like I'll decorate as a layout, but it'll be basically a layout that sits on top of a layout. Okay, I swear I brought all the new cardstock colors home from my studio. I knew I brought 4, but apparently I brought 2 caramel and 2 cornflower. And I don't think the cornflower is right. It's a little bit too blue. So I pulled this one. I took this over with me. This was called Turkish blue. And this was called Victoria blue. These are from, previous cardstock buffets, but I think it's this one more than this one. I think I like this color more than the other colors. And it's almost already cut to the same height. So then I just have to decide what color I want my pocket to be. And I'm really drawn to this pink, this kind of Fantasyland pink. And we had a color named Taffy. I think I should have pulled pink while I was over there. There's a lot of green too. I need something underneath. Then that's going to peek out from behind. Oh, I've got a paper in my head, and I don't remember what. I think it might have been old CM paper, a 10 by 12. I wonder where that would be. Let me I think I'll pull some pink and some green and see if I can find that pink. If I can find the pink background paper that's in my head right now, I could even put that all the way behind. Pull out the pink, pull out the blue, and then I maybe wouldn't have to do a border because that would be enough. Okay. All right. Luckily I had this one for my pocket. This is in fact taffy pink, and I think it's exactly the right pink for this, what I want. And this one is called Leaf Green. It's not exactly this green, but it was the closest that we have. Again, all of these are retired colors. But then I found this magical, wondrous delight. I don't know, does anybody else still have one of these? You remember this was called I think this was the original FileMate, but it's the old logo. It's the 10 by 12 paper, and it was the shades of paper. This was shades of pink. Look, new in package. But this is the paper that was coming into my head. And I have that little fraction of a piece. Oh, I've got a whole piece. Got this piece, that piece. Oh, I loved shades of pink. Oh, I just want to take it out and just be happy with it. Oh, look, taffy. So that's good. That's the right one. And then just had these 2 patterns. Shades of pink. This wasn't even perfect fit. This was 10 by 12. Oh, so I need to keep this out because I did love some of these old papers. And I mean, let's see what year this is from. Focus 0605 from 2005. It's 20-year-old paper still sitting on my shelf. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm kind of having a geek out happy moment with this beautiful paper. I'm not going to kiss it, but I'm tempted. I think I'm going to make it my goal to use up some of these papers for this album project, because then I could get this off my shelf. But for now, we're going to use this this paper. I don't think I want that piece, and I do kind of like this swirly piece, but I'm really drawn to this square, and this is the one that was tickling my brain. And yeah, I kind of have a weird memory for scrapbook things like this. I don't expect most normal people to have those same kind of memories. Okay, is this going to go with the green though too? The green, the blue, and the pink? I don't know. I'm liking the pink and the blue together, but not really the green. I feel like the green is too much, although I could maybe do something really small, but I was thinking that I would do like this piece, but I think I'm not going to. I think I'm going to do the pink. I'm not going to use this whole piece. I feel like the pink under there, and then pink top and bottom. And then I'll still use this pink and then this blue to be my yeah, I'm liking the pink and blue together. Kind of give me Aurora vibes. And I might be able to just use this piece. I don't think I will, because I need to have 1, 2. Oh, that small piece maybe would fit here and here. We'll see what we do. But I have a whole piece, which is weird because it's only 10 by 12, or not. I'm not used to seeing that anymore. So we're going to take this off, and I think what we'll do first is build our pocket with this piece, which is a little bit wider, I think, than I want it to be. It doesn't need to be this wide, and this doesn't need to be this wide. So this maybe I can cut like at 3 inches. I want this to be pretty much kind of over here to the outside. And then this will be this way behind it. And then this will go on the top, but it'll still have that pink top and bottom. And this has to be a little bit shorter. But this is too long. I need it to be about right here. So it's like 3 3/4, but I think I'm going to cut it at 4 because I can always cut it down. So we'll do 4. And creating a pocket like this is one of my favorite things to do for memorabilia like this. And yeah, there's no way this needs to be more than, it probably doesn't need to be more than 2 inches. That gives me 4 inches left, but 1 inch isn't going to be enough. So I think what I'll do is I'll cut this at 2.5, maybe. I probably could get away with 2. Maybe I want 3, just so that it stays put. Let's see, how wide is it? All right, it's 6 inches, so I'm going to cut it at 3 inches. And then I can have this other piece, I can cut into 2 1.5 inch pieces. And that will be just right for my top and bottom piece. And I'm going to start by sticking this. Oh, it's weird to have not double-sided paper too. Oh, the bad old days. We only got one design to choose from. And I'm sure there were people that didn't like either of the designs, and but it was the only way to get some of these colors. All right, so that's going to go on there. And now we're going to build our pocket for this map. And so what I want, I'll have to make sure that it's straight when I get this. So basically I've traced right around where the map is going to be. So this is the size I need the pocket. I do want to give just a little bit of extra space around it, just to kind of reinforce it. But I'm just going to make a pocket that this fits in. And if I had any more of this pink, I would use it, but I'm just going to grab some scrap cardstock. And because I've been scrapbooking with CM a long time, I still have some of this where the cover paper was actual cardstock weight instead of paper weight. So I'm going to use this. This looks like it's about an inch, less than an inch. But I'm going to cut 4 half-inch pieces, because what I want to do is build a little fence. And I want it to be the same height as my park map. So if you had like a thicker book, you might even want to use like foam tape or something. I guess I could also do that if I wanted to do foam tape or foam squares. But basically what I'm trying to do is create a spacer that's about the same height. Actually, this is a little taller. Maybe you don't need the 4. Maybe you could get away with 3. Because I'm going to be putting adhesive between it too. It's going to make it a little bit thicker. So I can just stack it up right here and run my finger and see that it's right about the same height. How on earth do I show that to you? All right, can you see that it's like right about the same thickness, these 3? I don't want it to go all the way to the bottom, just because I don't want to risk it poking off the edge. So I'm just gonna snip these off, and then I'm gonna use some adhesive. And this will also add thickness to the little piece. And then try and line these up as closely as I can. Oh, this is the one that I didn't trim. Okay, never mind. And I'll do the 3rd. And actually this other piece that I didn't use, well, I'm going to need another piece just to space it. Okay, so there's my little strip. That's about the same thickness as my park map, which is thinner than it looks, because this is on thin paper and this is cardstock. So I'm going to put this right up against that line, because this is what's going to keep this from going too far in that you can't see it. Oh, actually, before I do this, I probably ought to cut my little half circle that I want to cut. All right, so there's that. Do I want a circle? I kind of like the idea of a circle like this. I also could do an oval. I kind of am liking the circle idea. So when I stick this on and I slide my map in, it's going to hit right here. And I'm using these little pads on the underneath of my custom cutting system circle just to line this up. I mean, you know, either way it's still a circle, but this way I kind of know that it's right about like that. Let's take this off. I could cut this whole circle right here and it's going to show just this part, and I think that's what I would like to do. So now I've got to figure out how to cut that. And I should not have put the spacer on the back. I think that was a dumb idea. And of course, because I'm using the custom cutting system, it's going to be a little bit bigger than the shape of the circle, because I'm using the blade. So, but I'm putting the, actually I think what I'll do is this. I've got this lined up again with the two sides. That maybe is a little bit farther out. It's going to come to here now. That's okay. I think it can go to there and I'll be all right. Uh-oh, I want to make sure it's right where I want it. So this one, I'm lining up the paper with my cutting mat. Actually, I might even want to like washi tape it down, but I think I'll be okay. Where does there's the piece right there. I think I can just get in there. It's going to be all right. Okay. So we put this down. And this is a little fiddly, probably more than normal people would do. All right, so now I'm lining this up with the mat so that I know where this guy needs to be. And then I'm going to put this on here so that those little lines line up. I'll take this off. Okay, that's good. We'll put this back. And then I'll pull that out. But now I don't know where it goes. Okay, I think what I'm gonna do, that's what we're gonna do. Sorry, it doesn't usually take me, it's usually not this complicated. I just cut a circle, but because this one I really want the picture of Elliot the dragon to show, and I want this to be right kind of on that D. I think what I'm going to actually do is just take my pencil and draw a line right here. And frankly, I could draw this line too, because I'm cutting with the red blade, it's going to cut it off. So we'll take this out of the way, put this back on. Line that up again with my little side pieces of that mat. Lined up the pencil line. Now we'll take the red blade. And I don't need to cut the inside piece because I just want that one outside piece. Make sure both feet are in the groove. And go around and see it cut off all those pencil lines that I drew. Stayed under there. Thanks to those who asked about my finger from last week. You can't even tell that there was an owie there. All right, so now we have this. Oh yeah, see, that looks so good with little Elliot poking out right there. And now we got to build up these two. And I think I'm going to do a 1-inch piece. But I don't, it's 4 inches, so I think I need 2 of them. And then I need the piece just to be, just 3 inches, which means I could have gotten, well, I couldn't have got both top and bottom. So we're going to cut 3-inch pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't need all of them. And then we'll do the same thing again. We're going to layer 3 of these together. And I'm using full regular adhesive. People definitely have their preferences. But I just feel like it's more secure, and especially for something like this that is basically structural. Because this little piece, my mat is going to be resting on one of these. I mean, my map, not my mat. My park map is going to be resting on, and then the other one's just going to be at the top to keep it from falling off the edge. Okay, so the one on the bottom, I'm a little bit more concerned about being this straight. So I feel like this top edge is the straightest of the edges. I'll just put it right there. But this one I'm going to give a little, you want to be able to put this in and out without it being super hard. So I think I'm going to give a little extra wiggle room at the top because it's going to naturally, gravity is going to pull it down to the bottom. So if I give this just a smidge extra space, then you're still going to be able to slide this in, trust me, more easily, but it's going to position itself the way I want it. All right, so now, I probably ought to do a little piece right here. I'll use this piece just to fill in this gap a smidge. I guess I could have built that separately and then put it together, but that's just going to make this, give this a little spacer. And I'm not, on purpose not putting one on the other side because I do want it to kind of slope down a bit. All right, so this, if I was using photo tape would be nice because I could position it and then peel the photo tape off. But I think I'm gonna just, maybe I do want photo tape. Or photo, splits, these little guys. They'll be a pain. I think I'm just going to do it like this. And we'll figure out the measurement. Uh-oh, look what I just discovered. This is an old size page. It's 11.5 inches. This is not a true CM page. This is the old size. So let me make sure I get real true 12 by 12 pages. Can you imagine if I built this whole page with the pocket and everything and then discovered it was the wrong page? I don't know why this was sitting here. Is this also an old size page? Yes. Okay. Here's 2 true pages. I just have a little shelf thing that has pages on it, and apparently I somehow got old size pages on there. So I'm going to take this off, and even though I used permanent adhesive, you do have a little bit of grace period, and it's not even damaging it. But I'm going to just write on here, old size, old size. We'll just stick these labels, not on the new size, but on these 2 old size pages. Oh, which are which? Yeah, you see that just the difference is just that little 1/2 inch. Old size and old size. And then I'm going to make sure I put these on my shelf with the old size stuff. But you know, when you're reorganizing, sometimes you put things in the wrong spot, which is what I did. Okay, phew, that was a close one. And of course I trimmed that map so that it would fit, and now I didn't need to trim that map. It's quite so small. All right, now we can figure out where I want this to go, which is kind of close to the edge, but not all the way to the edge. I don't want it to fall out. I want you to you'll have to reach under the page protector a little bit. Oh, which coincidentally, it puts me right at the 1 inch mark. So that will be easy-ish to line up. And I'm going to be extra generous with my adhesive, just because, especially down here on the bottom, just because this is holding something that's heavier than like a normal scrapbook embellishment-y thing. Okay, and then this will go right at the 1 inch. I left my pencil line on there. It's kind of annoying me. this wasn't straight. Okay. I kind of wish that this went all the way in so that when the map isn't out, maybe I'll just write on here. Park map goes here. Just in case it ever gets lost, somebody will know that there's supposed to be a park map here. And then we will just slide that in. Ta-da! And now it's beautiful there. Okay. Here's my other true 12 by 12 page. I moved the false, the non-true pages. Oh, I guess I should have stuck this down before, or I can slide it under. I'm gonna erase that pencil mark. So this needs to be 7 7¼ to fit under there. I wonder if I should use that smaller piece, and that way I can save my full piece of precious pink paper. I think I'm going to do that. This is 7 3/8. That's exactly what I need. So I'm going to cut 2 1.5-inch strips, and I'm going to really hope that that's going to be enough to I might even keep that for something. Maybe I'll use it as a photo mat. All right, now we will put these down, and thankfully this wasn't a directional paper. It's just these little diamondy shapes. Oh, it might be a smidge too long. See how it's kind of buckling up in there? Uh-oh, now it's not straight. I guess I could have done it this way first and trimmed on the other side. Trim that last. You know, I said I needed to be 7 1/4, and I got 7 3/8, and so I really do just have to cut off that 1/8 of an inch to make it fit. But look, you can see, even though I got it perfectly straight with the bottom, there's a little gap here at the top. So I'm going to take that other piece that I just cut off. Frankly, I could probably just take that little 1/8 of an inch piece that I just cut off. Put both of these right in there, but that life is really short. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to take like a little fraction of a piece off this one. And even this is a little bit too, I probably should have used that little 1/8 of an inch piece. I just need both of them, and I don't want to put the other one. Okay, there it is right there. So sorry, little piece that I wasted. I'll get out my repo for this one. These 2 tiny little pieces. Yeah, this is a little bit of a pain. I probably should have done this part before, because I don't want to bend this cardstock if I can avoid it. All right, I guess I should have checked the height of my paper. And I wonder if putting the little spacers on it, if that kind of caused it to not line up just right. And now I'm just going to take this right here and use regular old adhesive and stick that corner down. And I think this corner down. I only put one piece on there. That might not be enough to stick it down, but okay. So now I've got my pocket. And let's pull out the other page. I don't think I need my mat for a bit. Here's this. And somewhere I've lost the picture. That's kind of ironic. Cleared it off. The map itself is 9 inches, so I want to cut this to 9 inches. Put my little leg up so that I know that this is level. Actually, now this is a smidge shorter, but it's going to be across the page, so nobody's ever going to know. And I'm a little bit annoyed because I did use the wrong size page that this now is going to have that whole extra ½ an inch. But I do have one more map. If I wanted to, which is why I always take so many, want to make it fit all the way. But then I'll have this on it, which I don't really want. So maybe I'll just leave it like this, and maybe I'll put this pink paper on this side after I've put these two pieces along the top and bottom. I think I'll try that. Or I could use this other piece of blue. I've got some options. I want to make sure that I have my paper going in the right direction. We used to have like a little number embossed on here, and they've stopped doing that. And I wish they hadn't, because it's actually made it harder for me to know kind of to keep them all going in the same direction. It's also made it harder for me. I've had a couple of times customers have brought me pages that are they're having issues with. And it's hard for me to be able to prove to them when they're not a real Creative Memories page. But you can tell by the corner, the Hobby Lobby version of the pages are different. And those are always the ones. When people have brought me a page and said, oh, the staples fell out or whatever, I can always tell by looking at the shape of the corner that it was not a Creative Memories page. I wish we still had that little code number on there. Those pages that I pulled off that didn't, that were the wrong size probably had that number. All right, so what do we think right here with that pink? Or with the blue? Oh, it's barely gonna fit. A little bit of the white shows through, darn it. And that one feels like it's poking off the edge, but it's not. That's all right. Even if a little bit of white shows through, that will be okay. What do you think? We want the blue on that end, or do we want the pink on this end? I think I like the blue. That kind of surprises me that I like the blue. But I feel like I want to tie the blue back in. And this is that Victoria blue from several summers ago. And this is just a hair bigger, I guess, because it fits just right. And so because this was a folded map, I'm going to add a little extra adhesive right along the seams to kind of try and flatten it out. All right, so right here. This is an awfully long video for a layout with one photo. All right, and then we'll put it right. Oh, I want to make sure that I go. Okay, there's that. And then this one I want to be right there, which is right here at 6, 7, 8 inches. That'll be a little bit bigger, but that's going to be an easier number for me to cut. 8 inches. If I'm not exactly on 8 inches, it won't be the end of the world, but. All right, how much do I care about this piece, this little gap that's showing between the white and the pink? Actually, it doesn't look like this side. I can get it lined up. That is kind of bothering me, that top section where it doesn't quite line up. I don't know why. There's nothing I can do about it. I think because this little piece keeps trying to jump out. Alrighty. Oh, what do I do? This is, I think, going to bother me if I think I'm going to cut another piece of this that's bigger, 2 inches. And I'm glad I have this extra piece. So much for using it as a photo mat. And I'll take this one off. Oh, even though I stuck it down right there. It doesn't fit. Darn it. Oh, it's because I cut that little 1/2 inch strip off. Brr. There it is. That little piece. I don't think anybody's going to notice. We're just going to use the whole piece right here. Kind of almost lines up. Oh, look at that. It really almost lines up. Look at that. It's so close. Okay, so next time, put this piece on first before you put this piece on. If you decide to copy this, but now this fits, and there's no pesky little white sections showing. So it will give the look as if I had used this pink paper for the whole background without me having to, sacrifice all of my precious pieces of this pink paper. I mean, except for the 2 that are in the unopened package. I'll line these guys up. And basically now I have to come up with a layout for one picture that I have moved to the side somewhere. All right. So I still have these couple little pieces of the pink. I've got this little half circle, which I could do something with if I wanted to. I actually kind of don't hate the half circle. I love to use kind of these extra little pieces and have them not go to waste. I don't think I love that. All right, this is maybe too much with this, but I don't know that I want another piece of cardstock. I might need another pattern. I wonder if I have any green in here. A green pattern that would go. Shades of green. Not much left in shades of green. Apparently there was only this kind of fabric-y color and the grass color. Palm was like my favorite color of green. It's kind of close to leaf green, but I don't think I want either of these colors. We've got this blue, kind of this speckle. Oh, it has a wavy edge on it already. Purple, no, olive, pink. I had this one that was called like ice cream or something. I think the file mate came out right when that was just being released. Maybe. Oh, and then maybe I do the green on here. It needs another pattern, but is that too many? Maybe I have to put another piece of this blue kind of down there too to tie it in. I don't think this is it. I think it needs to be a bolder pattern if I'm going to use another pattern. Maybe I need green that like it isn't just a matte, but it kind of goes that way. Oh, and then I've got this piece of pink too. Just want another like 1/8 of an inch. So I'm just going to use my trick of lining the edge of my photo up with this outside, the edge of the gray strip right there. I feel like I've showed it to you before. I just kind of visually do that, and then I feel like that helps me get that even kind of matte all the way around. I don't know about this pink circle. Except that I have it sitting here, so it keeps calling to me to do something with it. I like the green. I kind of like the circle. I mean, like, I feel like I want to bring the circle in somewhere else. But maybe not. No, I think I need to not do that. I don't really have any embellishments or anything that can go with this. I'd like to journal about how we keep hearing rumors that they're going to be doing away with the park maps. I'm kind of not liking the solid pink right here. I wonder if I need to do some kind of decorative stitching or something. You know, hand-drawn stitching, just to, like, it needs something. It needs something right here. We have a compass punch. We have a map. We have an arrow punch. I think I like this right here. As I was thinking about this layout, I thought, oh, it's just one picture and a park map. I may have to do two, do two layouts again, because that won't be very, won't fill up a whole video. But haha, I was wrong. All right, now I'm thinking that maybe I do need some kind of a border, like down here along the bottom with the green. The arrows might be good. We also have that chevron border. That could work. Go over the top, cut over this pink. Let me see what I can find. Okay, there are Creative Memories advisors I know who do not keep all the old punches. I know of one who doesn't keep any old punches. Once it's no longer for sale, she gets rid of it. I don't understand that, because sometimes you just need a specific punch. So this is kind of the chevron that I was thinking of. I would go that way. I also have this arrow punch. It was a promo. I don't even remember, like it came with a card kit or something. That could be kind of cool, but I think I want to do a border. But I also have this chevron zigzag. I think this was called zigzag. We had the double rickrack, which I like better because you got two, but that little one could work. I'm still leaning toward that one. Or I have this arrow one. I like it because of these arrows. It kind of goes together, but I think I want to do this chevron. And this is a knockout punch, and you can tell it's a knockout punch because it's attached at the top and bottom, whereas this one you can see is disconnected at the top and bottom. This is a chain. This is also a knockout. And then we have the ones that are an edge punch. Took me a minute to find my other pieces because, haha, I put them away, which is apparently not something I normally do. So I'm going to need 4 pieces, and I'm going to use the green. Do we have a pattern green? I mean, I feel like this is a lot of colors of cardstock, and I'm not thinking of a green pattern. That I would like better. You know, I think I'm drawn to cardstock because I love all the colors. So I think that the cardstock is going to be okay. The trick is, can I get 4 borders out of this? And this leaf green is a very, it's a pretty thick cardstock. I'm going to go ahead and just punch both sides before I trim. And I like these little guys. Like, they should be able to do something with them. You know, I'm finding myself, oh, I could do like some kind of a little design. Maybe. I don't hate that. Okay. But what I want to do now is find a way to cut this so that it looks equal on both sides. So this one is, I like to use this end of the 0 centering ruler because it's got the measurements right there. It's not, oh, that's not, it's, oh my gosh, you guys, it's 3/16. How on earth am I supposed to measure 3/16 from here? I don't even know how to measure 3/16 from there. That's a terrible number. Oh, do I want it at 1 1/4? Or is that going to make that too long right there? Oh yeah, that's way too long. That gives a whole 1/4 inch. Well, that kind of gives a 1/4 inch right there. Ugh. All right, so I'm going to put this at 1 and cursed 3/16, and it might not be right. Oh, but it might be right. What do you think? 1 and 1, 2, 3. The little single hash marks are 1/16 of an inch. That still feels a little bit wider on the bottom than on the top. But this is only 1 1/2. After all that trouble. Do I want it on the top and the bottom? Or is that too much? I think that's too much. Maybe I just want it on the bottom. Maybe I don't even want it on the bottom. Maybe it's too thick. Maybe it's too wide. I'm sorry, I'm crooked. This is maybe a little too much green. I want something skinnier. Really, this would be fine. It's just a little bit wide. So let's try this zigzag. I remember probably literally 30 years ago, maybe 35 years ago, I was a young mom, and it was when Oprah was the big thing. And I was watching Oprah and talking on the phone to my friend who was also watching Oprah. And Oprah had a segment about being a perfectionist. And I said, well, I know I'm not a perfectionist. My house is a disaster. And like she came back from commercial, and whoever her guest was says, you may be saying to yourself, well, I know I'm not a perfectionist because my house is a disaster, which was a little bit creepy. And said that sometimes when you're a perfectionist, like, you know that you can't keep your house perfectly clean, especially if you have young children or something. And so it just overwhelms you and you give up. So I don't think I'm a perfectionist in everything in my life, because I definitely believe that good enough is good enough a lot of the time. But boy, in some ways I am a perfectionist. Okay, I am liking this up here at the top. These little chevrons for sure. These little offcuts. I'm really liking the way that looks. And a little closer together actually than they are on here. But kind of something like this. And I definitely feel like I need something on the bottom. And I can't decide if it is the zigzag or if it's the chevrons. I like the chevrons, but they're too wide. Put them all the way at the bottom to leave my pink. This is too skinny, and this is too wide. But maybe right here at the bottom, if I don't try to center them. Now I'm wishing that this went up 3 inches and I could scoot everything up a little bit, but again, but if I did this and then I put these little guys up here to fill in that section, kind of like that. I mean, I could maybe cut these down a smidge, but that would be a giant pain. It still needs something else. And actually, I don't know that I love this. Maybe this has to be down here. I don't love that these were lining up with each other, but if I put this down here, I kind of am liking this better than the chevrons because it shows more of my little pink that I love. I don't want to cover that up. But that and that, oh, maybe this goes here. No, I think that's too much green altogether. I think I like this up here. Maybe a little higher up. Yeah, this is definitely not going to be a short video. I think I told you that my daughters watch my videos at like double speed or 1.5 speed. All right, I kind of like this where it's that even space. I'm going to journal right here. I think I will use this. This zigzag is fine. I'm going to go ahead and try and put adhesive on both of these at the same time. I still feel like I use more of the repo than I would if I were using regular. All right, and then I'm going to use my ruler so that I know that these guys are straight at, let's say, 3/4 of an inch. And I'm going to make it so that it lines up on this inside edge because it's going over the little bump of the mat. It's gonna not quite be long enough. You can see right there, it's not quite long enough. But shh, you won't tell anyone that. And that way I can do this one again at the same height. And I think I'll do it this way. Yeah, this one also didn't quite line up the outside edge. But whenever I have that gap, I like to have the gap be toward the outside. Now we're going to do this one, and this is going to be a little bit trickier. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this piece as my, like as a template. This is going to be a little bit of a pain. Will I have enough space to put those in the middle? I've done this before when this BMC first came out. I remember doing something very similar to this because I didn't like the spacing when I used the little offcuts. So I'm going to line that up with the edge. I want it at the top or kind of down here. We'll do it right down there. Put one in here. Which one has the adhesive on it? That one. And I'll fill all these guys in. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. And just fill that in. Get them nice and snug, and then, they're sticking to the, I don't want to fold this because I want to be able to use it for something in the future. Oh, the last one just came out. I guess I could have just punched one. Or punched an extra. But now the others I'm gonna eyeball to fill in the in-betweens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. That looks pretty good, doesn't it? Do I need one more right here? Maybe. I think it does. This little the cardstock, the blank part of the cardstock is irking me. All right, that's a little tricky because it's not sticking down. It's kind of floating in space, but I like that. I think this is salvageable to use for something else. Will I remember to use it? That's the bigger question. This right here. You know, Creative Memories just released some inks, and I don't have my box yet, but I'm thinking that inking might be interesting. The problem here is that this is closer to this edge than it is to that. This isn't the same height. I mean, it is the same height, but it's taller somehow. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. All right. It still needs something else, but I'm going to journal. And maybe it needs to be done. It's not, it needs something up here. Like a word, like a title. You know, I haven't been putting titles on my pages. I've been so proud of myself, but it needs titles. I'm struggling. I may end up going back and putting titles on some of these pages. But let me journal, and then I'll think about what else maybe I can do to fill in that kind of, because it is so cardstocky, I think it needs more. All right, journaling done. We're so very excited to get to see the Main Street Electrical Parade and love that it was the featured attraction on the front of the park map. We keep hearing rumors that printed maps are going away, but we hope not. So I got this pink. I can put a pink strip right there. Okay, and I've got this half circle. Absolutely not. I kind of don't dislike the pink. Could I use this right here? Could I do this on pink and have the pink with the chevrons? I kind of like the pink stripe. And I don't really want to put a page title. You don't have to have a page title. This is what's the length of this? This is a layout about the park map, and you can tell that by looking at it and reading the journaling. You don't need me to tell you this is the park map. Who knew that this particular challenge to myself would be so very hard not to do page titles? Do you do page titles on your scrapbooks? I mean, is that like still a thing? I feel like, you know, with Creative Memories, they're doing a lot of like little word stickers and that substitute for page titles. But then I also know people have their Cricut Joys and, you know, their die cuts and whatever, and they like to put page titles. A little bit of pencil on there. I kind of am liking this. Do we need a couple more? Oh, I remember I said I could do something with like these. But I think we're getting into overkill if we do this. This is too much. Plus they don't actually quite line up to make little starbursty things. Yeah, that's a no. But maybe it's something on here that it needs like just little dots around here. Do I want them to be little dots or big dots? I think I want them to be little dots. Little dots or big dots. No, actually they need to be big dots. They're not that big. All right, so let me do that. Okay, I put the dots on. I like them. I think they added a lot, but what I realized is that this piece where it's not the right height is annoying me. So I think I'm gonna take this little scrap of the pink taffy and put that under here. Well, this might make it worse. I don't know. Nobody will see it except me, and I will just be happy that that's the right color behind the pink. Okay. It needs something else, but I have no idea what that is. And so maybe I need to just let it be. Maybe I need the black dots around here. And then maybe I need to just realize that when you have a layout that only has one picture and a park map, it's never going to look like a layout that has lots of pictures or embellishments. Okay, some dots right there. I think I need your help on this one. What does it need? All right, does it need a title? Does it need some green? What Creative Memories product, past or present, because probably I have it, do I need to finish this layout? I think it's a title, but I don't know what title. You know, in Florida, I could write Magic Kingdom, but this is just Disneyland. It says Disneyland right there. I've already, said Disneyland a couple of times. I mean, I could say map. I've got these white. I don't really want to use white. There's no real white on here. And I could put map. Oh, it needs... it needs that. Does it need to say park map? All right, here's park. It's too big. It needs something like this. And you know what? I think I might wait. I think we might be waiting. There might be something coming out from CM. Actually, today, Thursday, when you're watching this, we have a preview of a new potential product from Creative Memories. And there might be something in the future that I can use. But I think at some point it's going to say park map. It's just not going to say it maybe quite this big. You know, Megan uses a die cut machine. I could use sticker letters. It's almost close enough. I mean, I could put it, if I put it in here, park map. I don't know. You guys tell me. Yes or no on the words park map. Should I wait for something else? Should I do sticker letters, something smaller? Should I handwrite park map on here? Would that be enough? I don't know. These are just a smidge too big. So we're going to call this finish with an asterisk. And if I end up coming back and putting a title on this, I might have to come back and put titles on all of them. Because it turns out I'm struggling. I kind of like the Disneyland. What if I cut the Disneyland, but it's right there. I don't need it 2 places. Ah, guide map. They call it a guide map. Okay, so please vote in the comments. What do I write here? Do I just do map? Kind of like just map. Help me finish this layout. So yeah, we'll be back next week, and maybe I will have decided yet by then what I'm going to do. Maybe I'm going to decide when this whole project is finished that I have to go back and put titles in. But for now, this is layout 11. We're going to call it park map, I guess. And maybe we are going to have to come back and put park map in here, but maybe it needs to be little sticker letters. I don't know. Tell me, do I want the little sans serif sticker letters? Should I take the pink bar off? Please help me, YouTube land. I need your help. So give me your feedback on what I should do to finish this layout, because I am stuck. So, and yeah, I've been working on this for almost 2 hours, so I'm going to cut out a lot before you guys have to watch it. So thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking with me and going through my whole process, and not laughing too hard at me for thinking that this one photo layout with a park map was going to be a fast one. So episode 11, and I'll be back next week with episode 12 when we get to go to Main Street, USA.